Assalamualaikum and very morning. So today we're gonna learn about campus area network server configuration. Okay, so we continue our topic 2.5 Linux mail server, which is the objective of this subtopic is you may identify mails agents in email service. You may explain the protocols used in mail transport in network. You may identify secure network communication using SSL and TLS. The mail server in open source software. Okay, we have several mail server that you need to understand, you need to recognize which is the open source software. Okay, uh, for the uh, for the beginning, okay, you may understand the mail server itself, the description of mail server. So what is a mail server actually? Okay, a mail server is a computer that serves an electronic post office for email. So mail exchange across network is passed between mail server that runs specifically designed software. So this software is built around agreed upon standardized protocols for handling mail message and the graphics contents in the message. Okay, you may see before this, you got the some activity that's understood how traditional mails is uh, going through our life. Okay, so in for the email, it's become the same method, but we use electronic device to recognize or to serve the electronic mail. Okay, and before that, you should also know the terms of internet mail or email. Okay, so electronic mail, commonly called email or e-mail, is a method of exchanging digital message from an author to one or more recipients. Okay, so in a modern email operates across the network or the others computer networks. You may also do or send an email through a local area network also. So not um, an early email system required that the author and the recipient both be online at the same time. We call also instant messaging. Okay, so so we got some protocols level inside the email agents. So you need to know first what is email agents. Okay, so before our class today, okay, you need to understand. You need to um, take seriously about this mail server because to understand more about this mail server, you need to understand first the agents that was involved in mail service. Okay, so we have three or four agents, which is a mail user agent (MUA). The simplify is MUA. Okay, mail transfer agent (MTA), mail delivery agent (MDA), or local delivery agent. Also, we call the name for the mail delivery agent. Okay. After that, you should know the behavior of mail user agent. Okay. So the user mail. Okay. We can see this. Sorry, I make it present. Okay, to make it more clear. Okay, the email user need a user mail agent MUA to compose an email. Okay, before this we can see MUA is the function of how user write down the email. Okay, so MUA is often referred as email client, a computer program that allows you to receive and send an email. The example of my client are Microsoft Outlook, IBM Lotus Notes, Pegasus Mail, Mozilla Thunderbird, the Bat, Eudora, and etc. Okay, so to use an MUA such as Microsoft Outlook, you need to install the MUA program on your computer and then use it to download and store an email message to your computer. It will allow you to read or write message offline. Okay, a web application that provide message management, composition, and reception function is sometimes also considered an email client, but more commonly referred to as webmail. Okay, popular web-based email client include Gmail. Okay, we also have Lycos Mail. Okay, what else? You may list down the email you used before: Ymail, mail.com, outlook.com, Yahoo Mail, and also etc. Okay, web-based MUA, you already use Gmail right now. Okay, Hotmail, okay, Yahoo store message on their own mail server and allow access them through a web page. And MUA is sometimes called an email agent or an e-mail. Okay, so this is the description. Okay, how mail user agent was described. Okay, we use MUA inside our computer, inside our device, such as smartphone. We also can install our MUA. Okay, and then we for the recipe also use the same maybe MUA. If you have a Gmail, for the write the your email, and you may also receive another MUA account such as Yahoo, Gmail, and etc. Okay, so we go to the mail transfer agent. So this is the second agent in mail server. Okay, this is the primary software working on a mission setup and email server. The MTA will send the email message from email client software out into the internet to its intent recipients. The MTA transfers your email message to another MTA, the one that handles the account of its recipient, which then store it in a file known as a mailbot or a mail spool. So your recipient client software will then request message from his and or her server, and the mail spool's content will be transferred to his or her client's mailbox. On the internet, MTAs communicate with one another using the protocol SMTP, and so are logically called SMTP server or sometimes outgoing mail servers. Okay, you may see the figures that show the MTA is located in the server. Okay, so if the recipient receive the list of email, okay, the server will respond, either they forward the email or to another server, or the rest of the DNS support the emails service. Okay, so next is MDA. Okay, MDA is a mail delivery agent. It's called upon by the MTA to the file incoming mail in the proper user's mailbox. In many cases, the MDA is actually a local delivery agent, LDA. Any program that actually handles a message for delivery to the point where it can be read by a mail and email client application can be considered an MDA. Some MTAs such as Sambell and Phosphate can fill the role of MDA when they are append new email message to all local users' mail spool file. So MDAs do not transport message between systems, nor do they provide a user interface, but MDA distributes and sort message on the local machine for an email client application to access. For example, MDA agent is POP mail. Okay, you may remember the example of MDA agent is POP mail. Next, the recipient MTA delivers the email to the incoming mails calls MDA. Okay, and which saw the email as it waits for the user to accept it. So in this case, for receiving or for retrieving mail on the MDA, we use either through POP3 or IMAP. Okay, so what is POP3? POP3 is a post office protocol, the older of two, which is use the retrieved email and mail is deleted off the server, and in certain cases leaving a copy of it on the server. For this IMAP, IMAP is Internet Message Access Protocol, which is used for coordinating the status of emails, which is you may read, delete, move, across multiple email clients. Okay, with IMAP, a copy of every message is saved on the server so that this synchronization task can be complete. Okay, for this reason, incoming mail servers are called POP servers or IMAP servers, depending on which protocol is used when you set up the mail server. Okay, next is how email works. Okay, actually when an email is sent using MUA, the message is routed from server to server all the way to the recipient email server. Okay, more precisely, the message is sent to the mail server task with transporting email called the MTA. So transporting email is MTA to the recipient MTA on the internet or intranet. MTA communicate with one another using their protocol SMTP. So we use protocol SMTP to when we want to send our mail. So logically, we call SMTP server or sometimes outgoing mail servers. Okay. Then the recipient's MTA then deliver the email to the incoming mail. We call them server MDA, which saw to the email as waits for the user to accept it. Then two main protocol usually we use for retrieving email. Either on MDA we store or we configure it as a POP3 or IMAP. We can choose both, but we need to choose one of them. Okay, for the reason, incoming mail server are called POP servers or IMAP server, depending on which protocol is used, you have been configured. Okay, so this is a real world analogy also. MTA act as a post office. Okay, this is MTA we analogize as an post office where the function is the sorting area, mail carrier, which handle message transportation. Okay, while MDA acts as mailbox. Okay, so mailbox is here's which is store message as much as their volume will allow. Maybe sometimes will be post back to the user or to the recipient because the space is too much or over the limits. Okay, until this and then the volume will or the message will pop up to the user back if the volume is too much or over the limits. Okay, until the recipient check the box. Okay, this means that it's not necessary for a recipient to be connected in order for them to be sent email. Okay, class, you understand? Thank you. So we go to the next. Okay. To keep everyone from checking another user's email, MDA is protected by a username called login and by a password. Okay. User will retrieving mail is done using software that we call them MUA. Okay, MUA is mail user agent. I repeat, MUA is mail user agent. Okay, when the MUA is program installed on the user system, it is called an email client such as Mozilla, Thunderbird, Microsoft Outlook, Eudora, Incredimail, or Lotus Note. Okay, when it is a web interface used for interacting with incoming mail server, we also call them webmail. Okay, understand? Okay, this is details about SMTP protocol. Okay, you must know also SMTP is used an email client to send and forward message to its local email server. The local server then decides if the message is for a local mailbox or if the message is addressed to a mailbox on another server. If the server has to send the message to different server, okay, SMTP will use between two servers as well. SMTP requests are sent to the port 25. Okay, so this is how they describe. Okay, we as a user, okay, as a user use MUA, and we also use SMTP protocol to send our email. Okay, and SMTP protocol using the default port is 25. And if we want to make sure our server is function, we need also to set up our retrieve protocol. Okay, either we use POP3 or IMAP. And for the port 3 default port is 110. Okay, so port 3 used by the client to contact the server and download the mails. Okay, so if the mail is delayed of the server, so it's may delayed. Okay, for the SMTP, normally, okay, we use the client to forward mail to the server. Server accept and store the mail in the proper queue. Okay, so this is some of various mail server software. Okay, such as the first one is phosphate. Okay, so this is the history of phosphate. Sorry. Okay, it is a wise venomous mail server. This is the order of the founder of mail server of phosphate with venomous. Okay, that start life at IBM Research as an alternative to the widely used SendMail program. Okay, so the phosphate attempt to be the fast, easy to administer, and secure. The outside has a definite SendMails each flavors, but the inside is completely different. Okay. Azim is a message transfer agent, MTA, developed at the University of Cambridge for use on Unix system connected to the internet. It's freely available under the terms of GNU General Public License. In style, it is similar to SML3, but it facilitates all more general. There is a great deal of flexibility in the way mail can be routed, and they are intensive facilities for checking incoming mail and azim azim can be installed in place of SendMail, although the configuration of azim is quite different. Okay, quite different from phosphate. Okay, and the next one is QMail. Okay, QMail is a mail transfer agent MTA. that runs on Unix. It was written starting on December 1995 by Daniel J. Bernstein as a more secure replacement for the popular SAML program. QMAP source code is in the public domain, making QMAP free software. And then the next one is Cyrus IMAP. Okay, Cyrus IMAP. You can catch up the source from cyrusmap.web.cmu.edu. Okay, the Cyrus IMAP server differs from others IMAP server. Implementation is that it is generally intended to be run on the SEAL server where normal user cannot log in. The mail spool use a file system layout and format similar to the Maildir formats. The Cyrus IMAP server supports a server-side mail filtering through the implementation of mail filtering language called SIF. Okay, so the next one is Dovecot. Okay, Dovecot is an open source software. Okay, open source software, which is they use open source IMAP Dovecot for their mail protocol, and also may use port 3 email server for Linux Unix-like system. Sorry. Okay, written the security primarily in mind. Okay, so Dovecot is an excellent choice for both small and large installation. It is fast, simple to set up, requires no special administrator. It's fast, simple to set up, requires no special administration, and it is used very little memory. So next, we see the secure network communication between client and mail server, which is when it's come mail server to mail server communication, most email are still transferred in plain text and not encrypted. It's making possible to anybody on the network to read their content. So SMTP like HTTP is a plain text by default. They are protocol for encrypting the session data transmit between clients and the server. Those provide a secure communication over a network. So we have two secure network communication protocol, such as secure sockets layer, transport layer, security. So SSL and TLS. Okay, what the function of those two protocol? Okay, actually, both SSL or TLS allow web server and web clients such as browser to share information securely by encrypted data to make it privately after confirming the identity of the server. Since TLS is open standard, it has wider use in the future because people are free to adapt it to their specific needs. Okay, for the features, the SSL and TLS protocol employ authentication, encryption, and handshake procedure to transmit data securely over the internet. Connection using SSL activate security features that require a specific port to be secure. In contrast, connection using TLS may be either insecure or secure, both of which can occur over an identical port. So with consideration, while SSL and TLS provide similar functionality, they are not interchangeable. The TLS protocol is backwards compatible with SSL, however, which means it's worked with client server and server connection that require SSL. Yet, SSL does not work with client server connection that require TLS. Okay, you may understand. This one also the important thing you need to know. SSL is a protocol developed by Netscape for transmitting private document via the internet, and it has been the de facto standard for e-commerce transaction security today. That if you want to buy something from, for example, from Lazada, from Shopee, you need to know that you must understand that the transaction must include with SSL. So how we want to know that? Can you answer? Okay, after this. So the business of e-commerce is tied close to consumer confidence in the identity insurance. SSL secure socket layer is a protocol that transmits information over the internet in an encrypted form for security purpose. Okay, so the port tree or SMTP over SSL encrypt all data exchange between your mail client and the mail server, which a digital security certificate to protect your password and your message. Okay. So you may know the explanation of SSL itself. The combination of 3 points of provide for connection security. These points are first privacy. So you need to know that the connection through encryption and identification through certificates. So for the reliability, dependable maintenance of a secure connection through message integrity checking. So the main role of SSL is to provide security for web traffic, including confidentiality, message integrity, non-repudiation, and authentication. So I hope you learned everything about secure socket layer here. So SSS is a cryptographic system that uses two keys to encrypt data. So they have a public key known to everyone, and the private key or secret key also known only to the recipient of the message. Okay, so SSL crypt to secure connection between client and the server. So any amount of data can be sent securely. Okay, so we know that both browsers such as Netscape, Navigator, Internet Explorer, or Chrome may support SSN, and many websites use protocol to obtain confidential user information such as credit card numbers. Okay, so SSS also gained the support Microsoft and other client server developer as well, and became the de facto standard until evolving into TLS, okay, transport layer security. The socket part of the terms refer to the socket method of passing data back and forth between a client and a server program in the network. So, or the between program layer in the same computer. By the convention, URLs that require an SSL connection start with HTTPS instead of HTTP. So if you do some transaction, okay, for example, in my bank to you, CIMB, any website e-commerce, you need to recognize that the website use HTTPS. Okay, understand, guys? Okay, we go next. This one is TLS. Okay, TLS is successor to the secure socket layer protocol. It was released to respond to the internet community's demands for the standardized protocol. Okay, the transport layer security TLS protocol was released in January 1999 to create a standard for private communications. Okay, so the protocols allow client and server application to communicate in a way that is designed to prevent eavesdropping, tampering, or message forgery. Okay, so according to the protocol's creators, the goals of the TLS protocol are cryptographic security, is a more interoperability, intensibility, and relative efficiency. Okay, it's too much terms of security that you need to understand. Okay, so this one is TLS provide secure communication on internet for such thing as email, internet fax, and other data transfers. And also when you use a Telegram, use right now, okay, since we have Telegram, we have WhatsApp, and TikTok and everything, you need to know that they provide secure communication or not. Okay, these goals are achieved through implementation of the TLS protocol on two levels: the TLS record protocol and TLS handshake protocol. The TLS handshake protocol allows the server and client to authenticate each other and to negotiate an encryption algorithm and cryptographic keys before data is exchanged. So right now, in the typical scenario, only the server is authenticated and its identity to ensure, while the client remains and authenticates. The mutual authentication of the server requires public key deployment to clients. Okay. And these are the difference between SSL 3.0 and TLS 1.0, but the protocol remains substantially the same. Okay, for the protocol version in message, to differentiate between TLS version 1.0 and SSL version 3.0, the protocol version number negotiated by a client, and the server communicating through TLS version 1 is version number 3.1. So the alert protocol message types, the following message types are those that are allowed as alert description within the TLS protocol. So upon examination of this list, one would notice that no certificate has been removed from SSL list. So this is assumed that is no certificate exists for the user. It is there is no need for the separate message. TLS use the assumption that the client can return an empty certificate message if it does not have the certificate to use. Okay, so next we see about HMAC. Okay, what is HMAC? Message authentication. TLS implement a standardized of MAC, HMAC, that has been proved in many others implementation. The main benefit to this chart is that HMAC operates in with many hash function, does not just MD5 share SHA, but as explicitly stated by SSL protocol. Sorry. So the key material generation, TLS use the HMAC standard and its pseudo-random function PRF output to generate key material C. Key material. Okay. So in this case, Thomas explained that each system starts with the pre-master secret. Next, it creates the master secret. Then it generates the required key material. The major difference is that SSL use RSA. Okay, RSA by DB Hellman and or Forteza DMS output to create key material. This output generates secret information based on the cipher suit and parameters select during session negotiation. Okay, negotiation. Okay, and then in transport layer security also, you must know about certificate verified. Okay, in SSL, the certificate verified message requires a complex procedure of message. With TLS, however, the verified information is completely contained in the handshake message previously exchanged during the session. In finishing, okay, in TLS and the PRF output of the HMAC algorithm is used with the master secret and either a client finish or a server finish designed to create the finished message. In SSL, the finished message is created in the same ad hoc manner that key material is generated using a combination of hash output selected cipher suite and parameter information also include. Okay, so this is all about mail server. I hope you may understand the mail, the protocol used, and the transport layer security, and also secure security. Sorry, SSL also. Okay, so see you in the next lesson. Okay, bye.